What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's having a wonderful April 24th, Friday, April 21st. For some of y'all, it's Friday. For me, it's Tuesday, technically, because I work all weekend. My Friday is Sunday, so... Wait, no, that would make my Wednesday or whatever. Anywho, we are here, day 2 of the draft. The first 3 rounds have gone through. We'll talk about that a little bit today. We're going to talk about some of the things the coaches were, where the coaches were staying, so how everything kind of went through. A little bit of MLB today with the Red Sox, some MMA news coming around, and some of that Michael Jordan, The Last Dance documentary. But before we get started, before we do anything else, I got to bring in my man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Artie Casas. What's up, baby?
What's up, big guy? How we doing?
We're doing good, sir. The Cowboys are strengthening up the team, which is good. Had me a little worried there during the first round, but, you know, they showed me well in the second and third. So, you know, all I can hope is they keep up the good work going into the 4th and 5th round tomorrow. So, how you doing? You got your drink ready to go?
Yep.
What you drinking, baby?
I went and got some McDonald's, and it comes with the Coke. So I'm going to be drinking a little Jack and Coke today because I got a Coke and I feel like getting Jack.
Oh, there it is, baby. I'll be drinking some whiskey as well, but I'll be drinking a little bit of the Jameson with a splash of ginger ale just to keep it nice and festivities. Man, what's going on, dude? There was other than the NFL draft that's going on yesterday and today, it's been kind of a slow sports week, man. Even though like there's no actual sports, it's been like a slow news, like sports news week, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. Not much going on. Not too many people making headlines or anything like that, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of headlines, the Cowboys. The Cowboys picked up CeeDee Lamb, the quick slot receiver, 4.5, 40-yard dash. Offense is now stacked with receivers and running backs and all the other fun jazz. And all I was thinking was we still need cornerback, basically defensive back help. And they addressed the defensive back position with the second pick with Trevon Diggs, Stephan Diggs' younger brother. He's got elite height, size, and strength to match up with any big wide receiver. He's so quick. He could have been a receiver, but he was way better at shutting them down. They used to pin him and Stephan together. So it shows you like what kind of shit he had to go through to kind of, you know, pump himself up and get where he's at. He had to guard his brother.
Yeah.
So I mean he's an elite. Stephan Diggs is an elite receiver. So we're hoping to see great things from his little brother. Who else did they get? Oh yeah, and the third pick in the draft, the 4th round, they got Neval Galimore, defensive tackle. He's the 6'2", 300 pounds, 4'7", 40, quick, strong, and mean. He's going to be in that center of the defensive line there. We got a couple of great defensive ends and some linebackers that are going to be rushing the quarterback. We had problems with that center part of the defensive line, I should say, and they are definitely shoring that up, making sure that they can build another wall, a great wall of Dallas on both the offensive and defensive sides. We'll see where they go from here, but still, we need a center and another defensive lineman. Sure. Yeah, no, we need another center and we need another defensive lineman. I think hopefully tomorrow they'll pick up the last 2. And we'll have a solid team.
Yeah, I definitely think the Cowboys won with their pick of that wide receiver. I don't follow football that much, you know, not in terms of like drafts and stuff like that. I've never been like for anything, whether it's football, baseball, basketball. I've never been like a big draft guy. I do keep track of like the winners and losers,
right? And
everywhere they have the Cowboys being winners in this draft. And from what I had seen, that wide receiver was definitely. Like it fell to him at a really good spot, so it was like a high value pick.
My understanding is that he was on their draft board, but they didn't think he was going to get to them.
Right.
So they were looking at Xavier McKinney, the defensive back, ended up going to the Giants, I believe. But they were looking at him hard because they're like, he's not going to be here when it gets to us. And then a couple people went a different way during the draft, which happens every year, you know?
Right.
And they're like, well, shit, man, we got to get CeeDee Lamb over here. You know what I mean? CeeDee, the big D. So
and the Giants is one of the losers that I see on there, you know?
they're not picking up what they need. I mean, it's just really weird. The other team that I saw that picked somebody else up that was like scratching your head in the first round, the Green Bay Packers picked up a quarterback.
That's I think they're trying to send a message to Aaron Rodgers. He is 36, dude. You know,
he's the same age Brett Favre was when they drafted Aaron Rodgers. So
it's kind of karma, right? Because remember how Aaron Rodgers was towards Brett Favre and stuff like that. And the Green Bay Packers is either you get on the train, or when this train leaves, don't bother trying to jump back on.
Right.
I'll never forget that. And I like them. Don't get me wrong. But I think in some kind of like the same thing, they're doing the same thing to him. Like, hey, man, like you have all this talent, you have the pedigree, and you're just not even getting us like making any Super Bowl runs. You know, the one Super Bowl he went to, they won.
Yeah.
But it seems like they just keep falling short. I mean, he has real good seasons and stuff like that, but he doesn't even make like good playoff runs anymore, don't you think?
I mean, he hasn't had, other than Devontae Adams this last year, he hasn't had any real weapons that are out there like that are in their prime.
Jordy Nelson?
In their prime. He had Jordy Nelson. Okay, he had Jordy Nelson, but who else did he have during the time he had Jordy Nelson?
Wait, you said nobody beside Devontae Adams, so that's two dudes.
No, but like, okay, so who else did they have with him though? They gave him one guy, Devontae Adams right now, right? Before then they had given him Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson was
isn't his name Randall Cobb, the dude that's with the Cowboys? He was in his prime.
Randall Cobb is now with the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I'm saying he was with the Cowboys, though, right?
He was with the Cowboys last season, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was in his prime when he was with the Green Bay Packers.
But was he there? Is
he
like
an elite receiver? No. Was he a real good receiver? Yes. I mean, he had like 1,000 yards receiving, I believe, 1 year, and like close to double-digit TDs.
Yeah.
I mean, those are good standards, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he did a lot with what he had, and he's still doing very well. I mean, he's a thorn in my side, to say the least.
Right.
Fucking
right.
Green Bay Packers.
Was that the year they won it? Do you know? Do you remember?
No, that wasn't the year they won it. It was a couple years before then that they did. But definitely, I don't know how many times we're winning towards the end of the game. It was fourth quarter with a couple minutes left, and fucking Aaron Rodgers throws a dime of a pass over to somebody on the edge, and they barely get the toes in, but they're right in line to hit a game-winning field goal or something with like 2 seconds left. It's like, I've seen that game play out so many times on so many different.
You think Rodgers is a Hall of Famer?
I'd have to dive into his stats.
I personally say yes right off the bat. I don't think he's like a first ballot type of dude, but
I think maybe third, fourth year in, maybe fifth year of eligibility, he gets in. But I don't think he's first round first round Hall of Famer guy. Yeah, first ballot Hall of Fame guy. I don't think he's him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a first ballot, but I think he gets in like second, third, fourth here. No more than five. Isn't it at five? Like he's no longer on there or something like that?
No, so you have to
get
percentages of the vote and stuff like that. You can stay on there for a little bit.
Yeah, but I think he gets in. He's got the Super Bowl. He's got a couple MVPs. He has some really good overall numbers. And I think a lot of these numbers are being skewed because of the flag football type of style they're coming with the NFL,
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be harder to judge who gets in, because then you start looking at, some of these dudes that had like, 5,000 passing yards, and they're like, is he a Hall of Famer? And it's like, wow, it's just they're airing it out,
Yeah. I mean, that's the football game right now is airing it out right now. So.
Right. Remember, it used to be handed off before,
Yeah. Because everybody had those elite bruiser running backs, man. So you had to hand it off. I mean, that was just the game at the time. It just evolves. It goes in cycles. Like we're into the throwing again, and back when Montana and Elway and Marino were playing, and I mean, it was all about airing it out. And then it's like slowed down, and then they brought in, Emmett and Barry, and them came through and started. Okay, now we got to run the ball. Everybody's got to run the ball now. And I think we're moving back into the airing it out right now phase, and with some of these running backs that are coming out now, and some of the guys got drafted today and yesterday. I mean, I don't know. We might be seeing a downtick in the throw and an uptick in the run again. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of years.
I just think because of all the penalties and stuff like that, I just think it's always going to be like a passing game now, you know, and it gets you down the field faster, you know.
The biggest thing that I like about the passing game now is that pass interference calls are now reviewable.
Right.
Like, I'm so happy because I don't know how many times we've gotten screwed over. And to be completely honest and transparent, there have been a couple calls that we got or that we didn't get called on that kind of helped us win a game. I'm looking at the Detroit Lions back a couple years ago. We got by them is when we lost to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers the next game. But still, there was a pass interference call that did not get called, and it was close, man. It probably should have got called. If it was the other way around, I'd have been screaming and yelling like that was pass interference all day long. But it didn't. Right. We won, and at the end of the day, that's really what matters to me.
Yeah. So let's see. Looking at some of these winners and losers, the Dolphins. You know, they're going with their Tua.
Oh yeah.
You know, that was where everybody was talking about him going, but everybody was talking that if he doesn't go there, like they see a big fall from him, you know?
They really said if Tua doesn't go at 5 to the Dolphins, that they were looking at him dropping all the way into low second, early third round picks.
No way.
Yes,
really?
Because they were like, the Dolphins need him. Right now, they needed a quarterback, right? And they were like, he's probably going to be the best one at the position that they're looking at to get. You know what I mean? And they're like, you roll the dice and you go for it, right? But if they don't, then what if you know the rest of the league goes, oh man, something's wrong? Like, they didn't take him. They had to take him, but they didn't take him. Like of all the people they took, but they didn't take him. He was the one. That was the one where he was going. They were saying that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were saying that he was gonna drop to the second, if not third, early third round, late second, early third round.
Someone would take him in the second for sure.
Oh, absolutely, he would have gone out in the second quick.
Yeah, for sure. So let me ask you this: the dark horse, the one that surprised everybody, you know, and they're calling him big loser, is the Packers. Do you think the Packers would have gambled if he was there? And they're like, wow, man, he's still here.
I don't think the Packers.
What pick was that?
I don't think the Packers go that route with him. I think they took a safety pick. You know what I mean? Like they took Love, I think his last name was. Hold on, NFL draft. I was looking at the stuff and I closed that out for some reason.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, there you go. Perennial backup quarterback is what they were calling him. Great understudy for Aaron Rodgers. Definitely going to be the quarterback of their future. But, you know, we'll have to see, you know, what happens, really he does. But my understanding was they were going with Love. I mean, no, they were not going to touch Tua because everybody was scared. Like I said, if he dropped from 5, he was going to drop. Would they pick him up early in the second round or something like that? There's a strong possibility at that point. But, I mean, I think everybody was shocked that they did go with quarterback at the very beginning instead of going and getting a receiver to help out Aaron Rodgers. So it was very interesting. I think Love would have been there in the second round pick, honestly. He wasn't up there, you know, in the top first rounders or whatever. And it's one of the reasons why we got they thought
what pick did he go?
I'd have to go.
I don't. It's not showing here on mine.
Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Rounds, here it is. Tua or which guy?
No, that the Love.
Oh, give me a second. Jordan Love went 26th overall in the first round.
I mean, it's low, so it's not like they're gambling that much with a pick, you know, super high.
Yeah,
that's already going into the second round almost, no?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like you're
not addressing a need, right?
Yeah, you're addressing a want. Like you want the next quarterback for you. You're not addressing what you need right now. And I think to a certain extent, I mean, good. They're getting ready for the future, but at the same time, it's like, like you guys are setting yourself up for failure right now. Why ruin Rodgers' last few years by not helping people get around him right. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
they had
but it's a double-edged sword. You know, that's what they did with Rodgers. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
you know?
and then in the second round they got AJ Dillon, which was a running back from Boston College. You know what I mean?
Why they need a running back for?
Exactly.
They got 2 running backs already.
I know. I mean, it's weird what they're doing. Like to me, it's like what? Okay, like who's?
You know Jamal Williams is from my high school, right?
No, I did not know that. Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's pretty awesome.
He graduated the year before I got there, though.
You know who I found out went to high school here in the Moreno Valley School District?
Who?
Tyrone Smith of the Dallas Cowboys. He's a fucking Moval kid.
Never heard of him.
I've never heard of the Pro Bowl first All-American left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. I've never heard of him.
Dude, can I draft him in a fantasy league?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's probably why.
Anyways, in the third round. Anyways, I mean, go fuck yourself. Whatever.
I just don't know guys like that.
In the well, because I mean, it's
receiver, running back, side end.
It's my team. I mean, he was here in the off season, helping the school out, and his school
cool.
that he went to. It's more of the uppity school from what they've told me, as far as the schools in the Mobile district, but it is the one that everybody goes to for the football games. Like for the football guys in the area, that's where you go. You know, unless you go to one of the Catholic schools, but that's where you go.
Right.
With their third pick in the third round, they got it. Let's see. The Green Bay Packers picked up Josiah DeGuerra, a tight end from Cincinnati. So they went. They got him a receiver, a tight end. I'm not sure who the Green Bay Packers tight end was this last season, but that they got a receiver-ish.
Jimmy Graham.
They still have him, no?
That's what I'm saying. The tight end was Jimmy Graham.
Oh, Jesus Christ! So maybe they're looking to light a fire under Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, he wasn't. He's one of those dudes that just catches touchdowns now. He's not even a possession guy like he was with Drew Brees anymore. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see where they go from here. You know, fourth round picks up tomorrow. We'll see where that goes. Right now, they're in the 35th pick with the New York. Still got the Giants. Got another pick. The Raiders got a third pick in the third round. Jesus Christ, the Raiders are fucking looking just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that's one of the big winners that they're saying too.
If they can put it all together, Jesus Criminy Almighty, dude, they're gonna be fucking killer this year.
But they seem like a team that always shoots themselves in the foot, you know? Not like I cheer against them, but it just seems like they're that team, you know?
The Giants just picked up Matt Pert, an offensive tackle, so they're shoring up the offensive line over there, which is something that the Clapper does really well. He gets you that offensive line ready to rock and roll. He did it with the Cowboys. Now he's doing it with the New York Giants. So
yeah,
a little bit of help back there for that quarterback. He who we shall not name. The Raiders coming up again. They got the Jets, the Steelers, the Eagles, the Schmeagles, the LA looking Chargers, but they're actually the Rams at 40th. Then the Vikings have another pick at 41, and then the Ravens ending up round 3 with the 42nd pick in the third round. So
okay, all right, interesting stuff. Interesting.
It is. We're getting there.
It's one of those, you just never know what you can get, right? Like, look at Tom Brady, you know?
Yeah, came in like the 90th fucking round, pick number 78,000, Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah. Now he's the GOAT.
He is.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, he really is.
Speaking of the GOAT, the Gronk has been unretired.
Very interesting to me. This was like just really interesting. Because this tells me, or I personally think, something fishy's there. Like, he just came out of retirement once Brady left the Patriots. Last year, they were talking about Gronk coming out of retirement and going to other teams and stuff like that. But it didn't happen and stuff like that. And so I feel like something went down that they're going to keep in-house and they're not telling us. Because Brady left and Gronk retired. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he comes out of it's not official that he's out of retirement.
No,
right?
technically, the Patriots still had Gronk under contract for another year. They were still going to pay him $10 million this last year, regardless of him playing or not. Wow. I know part of it is he's not getting the full $10 million, but I know he was getting part of that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so they traded his $10 million contract if you played to what the hell is it called? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I find that really interesting that your GOAT franchise guy is left you, which strikes me as like that's what makes him legendary, that he's associated with one team. That's a lot of times what makes these players legendary. Is it going to tarnish anything he did? No, not really.
Absolutely not.
Unless he starts like talking smack or really does real bad with Tampa Bay, which I don't see him doing real bad because what's the dude that just left right now? The one that was a quarterback there?
Where?
Winston?
Oh, yeah.
Jameis Winston could put up those kind of numbers. Now, he's not going to air it out like Winston was, so he's not going to get you, 5,000 receiving yards and like 40 TDs.
Right.
But I mean, a return to maybe 30 TDs and like, a solid 4,000 receiving passing yards is definitely possible because he's got dudes that could make the plays for him and then break the yardage. He doesn't have to air it out and let him go get it. He's got dudes that if he could teach them to do what he does, which seemed like it, because we talked about the only thing he requested on his contract was the phone numbers of all his his teammates, right? And that's something that's like, oh damn, I want this guy, right? Like that's would sell me as an owner. Like, you know what, give him an extra 10 mil just because he said that.
Yeah, I know that the Patriots drafted today with the 27th pick in the third round. Devin Asasi, UCLA tight end, trying to say, hey, we don't need you, Gronk. He's the third best tight end in the draft for this 2020 draft. He's the third ranked for his position, 69 ranked overall. He's got a grade of 75, so he's got a C plus maybe. So we'll see where he goes from there. Absolutely a good blend of speed, size, and length. Very athletic, but, we'll see how good he does, in the Bill Belichick formula
scheme, right? Yeah. What do you think about the Gronk thing? You don't like your spider senses didn't pick up or anything,
Man, I want to say that nothing's going. Move? I want to say it was a business move. I want to say that Brady bugged him enough and was like, I mean, granted, and on a side note here, if you haven't seen the little video that Tom Brady put out, he was standing like in the backyard or whatever, and he blows on the conch, and you hear it go, burr, 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 burr. And then like they cut to a video of these birds like all flapping away from like the trees or whatever, and Gronk comes running through the trees like Gronk a little slow but ready to go.
That's funny.
It's absolutely amazing. If you guys listening at home get a chance, watch it. I watched it like 10 times today. I was like, this is great. But I do think maybe there was a little discourse in New England. Maybe Tom was trying to get a little more input on what happens or who gets drafted or what's going on. And Bill Belichick, he's the type of guy, the type of coach that's like, hey man, my team, I'm doing it my way. Just throw the ball.
He's a micromanager for sure.
Absolutely. Sure. And I think at this point, Brady was like, look, man, we've won 6 championships. Let me get some input, what we're doing and what's going on, who's coming. Right. And Belichick was like, look, bro, if you want input, go the fuck somewhere else.
Right.
Because Brady's been on a 1-year contract for the last like 3, 4, 5 years, I think.
Has he really?
He has. Every year they restructure his contract for another year. And it's just so that and Brady's been playing it smart for all these years. Because he doesn't ask for a shit ton of money. Mm-hmm. That way he can have people around him.
Right.
But
he cares more about winning ships and he's making enough money.
Exactly. Right? Dak, pay attention.
Plus he's probably getting all his money through sponsorships anyway.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way he's not getting sponsorships left and right, man. He's the GOAT.
Dude, he's one of the guys that comes out like, commercials all the time, like even movies, right? Where he came out in that movie with, Mark Wahlberg where he was, like in Ted, right? Where they...
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he sneak into the house, the wrong house?
Yeah, he does. No, they don't sneak into the wrong house. They sneak into the house to try and get Tom Brady's semen so that the Teddy can impregnate his old lady.
That's right.
That was
That's
fucking
funny
hilarious.
that Tom Brady broke into someone's house, right?
Yeah. He walked into the wrong place. That's fucking hilarious. It happened,
Right.
was it yesterday or today? But Tom Brady walked into the wrong residence.
I think it was like 2 days ago, to be
Something
honest.
like that, man.
And I read the little tidbit on it, and the guy was like, he walked in, he opened the door, like didn't even knock, he just opened the door, put his stuff down, and Tom Brady looked at him and said, "Am I in the wrong house?" And that dude just looked at him like you're Tom Brady.
Like, bro,
you're Tom Brady.
this is your house, bro.
Yeah.
If you want this house, it's yours.
Yeah, you're in the right house. You're in the right house. You
Let me get
like,
you a beer.
Yeah. Let me get you a beer. Hey, you want to go run a route? Like real quick, just one quick pass. One quick pass, just one.
Come on, man. Let me go deep. Let me go deep right here.
Yeah.
Let me get the button hook right here, guys. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. I can't go deep, but let's do a little out. A little out real quick.
2-step out. Come on, we got you right here. Let me get that 5-step comeback.
Right.
Ooh. The Patriots with their 37th pick have now picked up Virginia Tech tight end Dalton Neen. So they went double down on the tight end. So
that's kind of what they did with Hernandez and Gronkowski, right?
This is true. One became amazing, the Gronkleberry, and the other one became a movie.
Right. Well, he had an amazing couple years.
He did, man. Some people can't get out of their own way, honestly.
You're right. That's the truth.
At the end of the day, man, some people just cannot. You're making so much money. You're doing so much better in your life, and you revert back to the idiocracies of when you were younger and the people you used to hang out with. That you shouldn't be hanging out. It's like I said last week. If the people aren't there to help you move forward, there's no need for them to be around you. All they're doing is holding you back and bringing you down. So if you guys get out there, like, please, make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are trying to push you forward and do better things in life. So, anywho, get off my soapbox again off that one. But so I mean they're doubling down on the. I still think they haven't really addressed the quarterback position though.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. Maybe they make a little trade with the Packers.
Imagine, bro.
And remember we were talking about, because you kept asking, hey, where's Winston go? Where does Cam Newton go? And I said, nothing's going to happen until after the draft, right?
True.
Those two dudes are definitely options. I could see them doing like a Cam Newton. I can't see a Winston going to New England, because Winston, I mean, he's got the talent, but I don't know, is he a winner? I mean, I think Cam Newton's a winner, and he's got talent. I don't think he has the talent he used to, because we're still yet to see. He's got some injuries, some serious ones that he was coming back from they're holding him back and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but he's got the pedigree of being a winner, dude, and I think that's something that is a right fit with New England. Especially maybe mobile quarterback in New England, because they might not have all the weapons that they've really had, so they might need a mobile quarterback,
Well, I know in the second round they picked up a defensive end, so they're shoring up the defense, and they also picked up a safety, Kyle Duggar.
Shoring up the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL.
Yeah, they're getting it better, because they're hoping that whoever they slot in there at quarterback is going to be able to at least get them a couple points.
Right.
So, I mean, glaring holes in the Patriot, you have a couple tight ends now. Some defense can help you keep points off the board, but you do need somebody to hand the ball or throw it. I mean, does Cam go? I don't know. Does Jameis go? I don't know. A lot of people saw Cam going to the Chargers, but the Chargers did what the Chargers do and picked up a quarterback. So,
right.
We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of draft to go still, and I mean, I thought the Cowboys are going to re-sign Dez Bryant on a team friendly deal for this next season and throw him in the slot, but we picked up DD.
So they're like deuces.
So, I mean, I still would want him on the bench. I mean, you could throw him in there in some pretty interesting situations, man. Stack 5 out and rock and roll, and Either way, I think, man, we have a really good offensive. We have really good offensive weapons. We got a strong defense. I think they're going to continue to build on that defense the next few picks. But we definitely, I think in the very next pick tomorrow, I think the Cowboys are going to take a offensive lineman and get that center position solidified. We do have a couple people that are going to be playing that could play center. One of I forget his name, but he played center while our guy was hurt and on the mend. So that I think that maybe they're thinking he will step in, but man, you can't replace Zach Martin just like that. So I think honestly, right. I think they're going to go and get another center from somewhere, and we'll see what happens there. A little bit of a little more somber news. Speaking of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, my condolences to the Prescott family. Dak's brother, Jace Prescott, passed away at age 31. Circumstances surrounding his passing have not been divulged yet. Hopefully it's not nothing serious. Hopefully it's nothing with COVID. Hopefully it's nothing with any drugs or alcohol or anything like that related. We do send our thoughts and prayers to the Prescott family, and it's pretty sad. 31. I mean, we're both past that 31 age. You know what I mean? And I'm knocking on the door at 40 at this point, but. Man, just to think how they're doing, and he was the middle child. He played football too, and it's just my condolences at my I don't know what else to say, man. Like I just feel bad for him, man. Like
my thoughts when I saw that, and I was like, this would rock the nation if it had anything to do with that party the other day.
Oh man, it would.
That was my first thoughts.
Yeah, if it came out that he died because of something of what happened the other day, it would go crazy. I think
right. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be one of those things. Yeah, a lot of craziness would just happen.
Yeah, he was an offensive tackle back in Texas. Well, he played for Texas State. It was just really from what they say, he was a great humble guy, athletic, yet a huge brute kind of guy. The world lost a kind soul out there. He battled with his mom, or their mom, I should say, when she was going, fighting cancer. And when she passed away, he was there to help Dak keep moving forward. And I know Dak's feeling really bad and hurting right now. So Dak, we'll pour one out for you, brother. And hopefully you guys are doing okay.
Totally agree.
Absolutely. Moving on to not so somber news, the coaches were allowed to show off their houses a little bit. The coaches and the GMs were allowed to show off their houses while the owner. Well, technically Jerry's a GM.
GM, right?
He was drafting from his $20 billion yacht. He was like, I'm going to be hiding out on the sea. If you're going to be isolated somewhere, if you need to socially distance yourself, man, do it on a $20 billion yacht and call it a day.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things that's like, why not, right? When you got everything, why not get one more thing?
Might as well. The one that really caught my eye was the coach from the Cardinals, right? What's his name?
Yeah.
Blank.
I know what you're talking about, though. They showed his war room. That shit was ridiculous.
That thing was awesome. I think everybody was pinching that picture, right? To zoom in and look at that backyard, that pool, and just like, you're like, oh
the GM God. I saw the GM's backyard today, the Cardinals GM. Oh, my God. He had this like feng shui 6 patches of grass in between some like rocky formation with like a fire pit in the middle. I was like, what the hell?
That's what I'm talking about. That's the coach.
Is that the coach? I thought that was the GM. I was like, oh my God, bro.
As soon as you're describing it, I was like, that sounds like the picture. Yeah, it's the coach. I'm going to Google his name because it's bugging me right now,
Yeah.
Cardinals. But go ahead. Just keep describing it because that thing was awesome.
I mean, for you guys who haven't seen it yet, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous outside. He's got a whole wall that's basically windows, big sliding doors. It just opens up, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And go ahead.
His name is Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh yeah,
He's young
Kingsbury.
too.
Yeah,
He's young. He's really young.
yeah. He put his money to good use in Arizona.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but that whole like gazebo thing, whatever that's back there, right in front of it is a pool. Like that whole thing is a pool right in front of it, just beyond the grass and the rocks that you were talking about.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, if you start pinching in on that photo and looking at it back there, like, dude, that thing is crazy, man. Just crazy. It looks so nice. And like you said, it wasn't just normal sliding doors. Those things were like palace type of doors. They were like, it had to have been at least like a story and a half type of thing,
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I am. Oh my God. I see the gazebo. You see the pool. Oh, you see the fire pit in the middle with the little. Yep. Man, he's got a spot, man. He's got a waterfall inside the house. If you look by the fireplace.
Oh yeah.
That's the line of fire rocks right there. You turn on that fireplace, but there's a waterfall on the back of that.
You know what else caught my eye on there too? He had 3 cell phones right there. It looked like all iPhones, but he had like 3 cell phones all lined up. He had a monitor, he had a laptop, and he had this big old TV that he's looking at on the fireplace.
Oh yeah, I got one problem. Yeah. One problem with this thing. He's not wearing any fucking socks.
The shoes, right?
Wear fucking socks with your shoes, goddamn. You're in fucking Arizona where it's like 9 million. Your feet are smelling, bro. Wear some goddamn socks.
Right.
I'm just saying. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that he took the picture of the day from what I saw. I mean, because everyone else they look like they're in their little home office, with the little step and repeat banner behind them.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody. Not everybody.
Most of them. A lot of the ones I saw were like that,
Because my GM and owner was rocking it out on the yacht.
Yeah.
The yacht.
Yeah. Not too many GMs worth $1 billion.
$1 billion on a Tuesday, maybe. Bro, come on. Jerry Jones is a quad billionaire, bro.
Probably.
What else we got here for the NFL? You got anything else for the NFL?
The NFL, Gronk threw me off. The quarterback shuffle, I believe, is going to start, man. As soon as this draft is over, I really think that quarterback shuffle is going to start working itself out. Do you think there's a quarterback that doesn't get like signed or anything like that?
I think if any of the ones that are out there, I think Winston is the one that's kind of left out. I think people jump on Cam a lot faster than they get on Winston.
See, and I think people are going to jump on Winston because he's still young, and he's more of a passing quarterback, and Cam, with his strength, he's more of a running quarterback.
I mean, I had Cam or Winston going to the Chargers, and then the Chargers picked up Justin Herbert from Oregon, which I figured somebody was going to take him pretty early. But I think, honestly, the Dolphins don't take Tua. I think maybe the Chargers do, but I think they got a solid quarterback in Justin Herbert from Oregon, dude. 6'6", 236. I mean, he's huge, man. I seen this dude when they were showing his highlight clips. Dude's massive, bro. So I think the Chargers got a good somebody. They got a good quarterback from California that's going to be able to carry the load of having a new stadium, new fan base, new everything. So it's going to be interesting.
Right.
The new terrible logo.
No.
The Chargers one was good. It was the Rams that was terrible.
Right.
Nah, my bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope that's not official.
My bad, Charger Nation. Actually, you know what? They actually posted out their new uniforms, and goddamn, dude, those motherfuckers make the powder blue look sexy as hell.
The Chargers?
The Chargers. If you get a chance, Google the Chargers 2020 uniform, and they posted it out. They may not always make the playoffs. They may not always make big splashes in the postseason and this and that, blah, 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 but they're always going to look good no matter what.
That's funny. Did you see now that you say NFL, did you see the unis for the Atlanta Falcons? They look like the movie from the Adam Sandler.
Yeah, the longest yard. Yeah. Mean Machine.
Yeah, and then what was awesome was Carolina Panthers trolling them. They did the open the door challenge where they're just laughing at the uniforms.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that thing was awesome how they were trolling them on there. It was funny. It was funny. If you haven't seen that little open door challenge the Panthers did, you'd really appreciate it. It's just them making fun of the Chargers are like, wait a minute, I think I've seen these uniforms somewhere before. Then they open the door, and sure enough, it's the longest yard.
Nice.
That was hilarious. The Patriots new alternate uniforms, I guess. I don't know what they call them. They look pretty nice and sleek.
The Cleveland. I was gonna go ahead.
And I was thinking, first thing I thought, and I was like, oh, they're trying to shield and deflect. Now the Gronk sign and stuff like that, they come out with these unis, or they're trying to get everybody to think about something else.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, even the Tampa Bay, they're bringing back the creamsicles. They're bringing back a little bit of creamsicle back. I really like those creamsicle jerseys, man. I think they look fucking fresh. The Cleveland Browns are looking fucking... They're subduing that bright orange and making it look a little bit more brown. And it looks clean, man. We'll see what it looks like, live and on the field and whatnot. But
what do you think about that whole situation going on over there with Odell Beckham? So they're talking about that they're trying to trade him. There's a trades in place, blah blah blah. And then they're talking about like inside sources saying that it's just not a good fit because Odell's not happy with his stats declining, and that he's not a good fit for the quarterback there. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Baker Mayfield,
that they're not clicking, blah blah blah. And then when they I guess they came out with a direct quote from like the GM or something like that saying no, that's not true. None of that is true. There is no trade on trades on the block or bet. Odell's not on the trading block. Like, I find that really interesting. Again, it's one of those teams that always seem to kind of find a way to shoot themselves in the foot,
Yeah.
And I just think now they're getting into that whole situation with Odell, very similarly to what I saw what was going on with the Giants,
Yeah, no, for sure. Honestly, I think if they would have traded Odell, I think Odell would have gone before the draft or during the first round to pick up another first rounder or even a second rounder. I think now you're looking at the fourth and fifth round picks of the draft. I think that you're not going to go that route anymore. I think he stays and they ride it out this next year.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, so the third round is now done, I think. Oh no, that was the first round. Let me see where they're at right here in the third. Yeah, the third round is now done. They are done for the night. The LA Rams picked up safety help. Terrell Burgess from Utah. Safety from them. 5'11", 202. Not bad. Not as tall as you'd want a safety, but still got good height. What else we got here? Alex Highsmith from Charlotte went to the he's an outside linebacker, went to the Steelers. Who else we got here? Adam Troutman went to from Dayton. He's a tight end. The Saints have picked him up, so that looks good. And then the Baltimore Ravens here, Tyree Phillips, Mississippi State offensive tackle. So they're going to go give some more help to their MVP quarterback. Well, their MVP caliber quarterback. The future of the Madden NFL franchise. He's the next cover guy.
Yeah, I saw his little interview real quick, a little snippet on it. He said if there's a curse, he's all wasn't Patrick Mahomes on the cover. He's all, give me that curse. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, let's hope that he doesn't get hurt. So
yeah, in my fantasy football league with Evan, one that you're not in, it's pretty funny because all they do is talk about him being a running back, not a quarterback, and they're like, oh man, that's the first running back on the cover since when? And I think it was like Peyton Hillis, I believe.
Oh, Peyton Hillis was a beast, though.
Yeah, but wasn't he the last? Who?
I want to say he was the last. I want to say he was the last running back.
Yeah. So anyways, that's the little running joke.
Quote unquote, the pun intended running joke.
Pun intended running joke.
By the way, guys, drink number 3 here. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Remember, guys, when you guys are playing with us at home, there is a 3-drink minimum. If you guys are watching this at work or whatever, that's okay. You can call a mulligan. You can get back to us later and finish up those 3 drinks.
Coffee cup.
Yeah, depending on what you're doing, that may or may not be safe.
Touché.
I did. You know what though? On a side note, one of my buddies hooked me up with a Jameson whiskey. It's mixed with cold brew coffee. A little splash of that in your morning brew, and it's woo. You're ready to rock and roll, man. Talk about Feeling good for work. Not that I've done that, in case anybody's listening. Just throwing it out there. But anyways, moving on to the Major League Baseball. We are the blown save after all, and baseball is our most common enemy, friend, whatever you want to call it, that brings us together. But the punishment has finally come down on the Red Sox. And it was less punishment. It was less a punishment, more of a slap on the wrist and a, hey, don't do this again, okay, Dakota? Here's a cookie, but don't do it again. Like, come on, are you fucking kidding me right now, dude? The Astros get shit. The fucking Red Sox get fucking, they basically turn the other cheek and say, hey, man, you just don't do it again, all right? Fire that guy, or the replay guy with the camera is banned for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it again, guys, later. And that was that. It's like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, we were waiting for the hammer to drop and nothing. I mean, it was to be expected after what happened with Houston. They didn't do shit to Houston, so of course, you know, it was going to be less for the Red Sox, apparently, and it got really less for the Red Sox. Do you think that the Red Sox are going to see the same retaliation, if not a little more, since they got just a little slap on the wrist from the other Major League teams?
I don't. I don't think as many people are pissed off about it with the Red Sox because it just was. They haven't come out and talked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Houston feels like they're kind of running their mouths about it, and I think that's what really pisses everybody off. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
They're like, yeah, we did it, and what? You can't do shit about it. You know?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like that they're doing, and that's what's really ticking everybody off. The Red Sox. Yeah, they probably did it, but they're not throwing it in anybody's face or trying to deny it or anything like that, you know?
Right.
So I just don't see people going after them like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just the way I see it. I just don't think they're going to go after them because they're just not running their mouths about it. And they're like, yeah, hey, give us whatever punishment you want. And we're cool with it, and we're just going to stay quiet here. We're not going to say sorry. We're not going to say we didn't cheat or anything or try to pretend or justify it. It just is what it is, and we'll just move on. You know, quick and silent and move on. But Houston is just like, man, just like they were banging their drums out in the open, and they did the same thing, unapologetic. So what? Hey, we got punished, and what else you want us to do?
Yeah, they seem very unremorseful over
right.
what they did and what was going on. So
So I think they're gonna wear it whenever it happens. I think they, out of everybody, are probably the happiest that this season has gotten pushed back because they're not gonna wear it. I don't think it carries into the next year. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just this year that they're gonna wear it, but it's gonna be lucky for them. It's gonna be a short year.
Give me. Let's just say the season doesn't happen this year, right? And we go right to 2021. Give me 2-1 on a $20 bill, saying that it still carries over into next year. They still get hit at least each one. I think the big boys wear it at least 10 times during the year.
How much is an average getting hit? Do you know?
It's not much.
I don't think anybody breaks double digits anymore, right?
No, I don't think so, but I think they're going to.
Yeah, I think so too. How many? How about this? You know, we always do over under. How many guys break over or 10? 10's got to be the standard, right?
Right.
So how many guys break the 10 plateau of hit by pitches for the season? Over under how many?
For Houston?
Yeah.
I think at least 4 of them do.
All right, so let me see here. So obviously Bregman gets it.
Oh yeah.
Springer gets it. Correa gets it. Fucking, he's gonna lead the majors. Altuve. So that's 4. Probably Gurriel. That's 5.
Yep.
I'll take 5. I'll take 5 guys. 5 guys breaking the double digits. By pitch plateau this
the most hit by a pitch in a single season by an American League team was the 2008 Cleveland Indians with 103 hits by pitches. I don't know what they did in 2008, but damn, they got fucking beat. I think the Astros break that record. There's going to be a new one.
The number is actually kind of high.
Yeah. The national
hit by a pitch for the leader.
The National League most hit by a pitch in a season is nationally the 1898 Baltimore Orioles had 148 hit by pitches during that season. So
no, I mean by the league leader for the year.
Oh, okay.
What do you think the league leader? Just a random guess because I googled it. The league leader for hit by pitches last year was
who they were or what the number is.
What the number is by one person getting hit for the whole season. How many times? What do you think the league leader was?
8?
Nope. Not even close.
What was it?
Keep going. Like
higher or lower?
Yeah, we're going basically hot or cold, and you're cold. Real cold.
Oh shit. Fucking 30?
You're very hot, but you're over now.
22.
You're closer to 30. So it's 27.
27. I should have picked 27, my boy Trout.
Anthony Rizzo had 27 hit by pitches.
Frickin' Rizzo.
So now I don't think. Now I feel like 10's not enough.
I don't think 10's. I definitely don't think 10's enough.
Five guys, the 10 plateau. Man, how many guys? I think 5 guys break the 20 plateau now.
I think you're absolutely correct, sir.
I think that's a plateau right there. I think 5 guys break the 20 because the American League leader was Alex Gordon with 19, and then every year pretty much. Yeah, the number of the plateau is about 20, and Rizzo's up there every year, but that's because that dude crowds the plate so much.
Most
at 27, 24,
most hit
30.
Most hit by a pitch in a single game by one team is 6 by the New York Yankees in 1913, and 6 as well by the St. Louis Cardinals in 1897. Jesus Christ, nobody's gotten really hit since then, but it's going to happen.
I don't know. It's just, they're quick to pull the triggers and give warnings and stuff like that. That's another thing that I think the Astros are going to start having big issues because, if they even come close, they start warning the pitchers.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, like, how are we supposed to pitch inside if knowing these dudes can basically just eliminate the inside pitch and just sit outside because we can't even get close to them because if you deem it necessary, because I hate when umpires warn the teams when it doesn't hit them. I can understand warning the teams if it hits a guy, but if it misses up and in, and it's not like repeatedly on one at bat, and what I mean one at bat is like 3 times missing him, then I understand. Hey, warn him there. 2, you're like, depends. Were they 2 high ones or were they 2 inside ones? You know what I'm saying? Like 2 below the belt or lower.
Right.
Like 2 below the belt. You don't give them warning. 3 below the belt, okay, I get it. But if there's 2 high ones above the belts, I can understand that. 1, no, dude, don't do a warning for 1.
All right, so I have the baseball CBS Sports. I got this from the baseball prop bet has been set for the total hit by pitches by Astros hitters in 2020 and now 2021. The over under is 83.5. Total regular season hit by pitches. So they think they're going to – that's the over-under right now in Vegas. It's 83.5 for the 2020 season. Obviously, this is before we had a shortened season, but that's what they were putting it on. And the over-under at 83.5 hit by pitches throughout the season. Okay, so let me put it this – okay, so that would have been a full season.
162 games.
Let's cut that in half because let's just say we only have half a season. Mm-hmm. Let's call it 42. Let's call it 42 or 41 and a half because that's what they would probably be.
So 41.
Well,
you're basically 41's the benchmark.
Yeah. Do you think with the half a season, with the shortened season, they break 41 over under total hits throughout the season?
Let me tell you, if I'm in Vegas, I go drop 100 on the over for that one.
On 41 with the shortened season?
On the over for sure.
Now, if it was a full season, the 83.5?
I still take the over. I could drop $100 on the over for.
Do you parlay it with something else?
No, because I think that's an easy bet right there.
All right,
that's an easy bet.
I like it, man. I like it. 83.5. I think they definitely go over. I think they hit. Okay, here's my question now. Do you think they get 100?
For me, I think 100 is the real benchmark.
Full season. Full season, 100.
No, I think a hair under 100. In the 90s. Okay. I think it'll be in the 90s.
Half season now. That would put us 50? At 50. Do you think they get 50 or more?
I do because I think it's still going to be fresh and Yeah, I think they're gonna be trying to make up for lost time type of thing, you know.
Like, oh, you guys, here's for April, May, and June.
Oh yeah, you thought you were getting away?
No.
Away? Oh, we remember.
Okay, so here's my next question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the Red Sox have been quote unquote punished, over under on a half season 30.
They traded away some Red Sox. You know, Mookie's gone. Who's the guy though? Who was the real culprit? You know, like
Correa was, and he was the coach. And he's gone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and he's the one that's getting it the easiest.
Hinch, okay, you know, after you answer the question, 30 over under for a half season.
30. And we're assuming it was 180 something games, right? Because
right.
It's half season.
Yeah.
As a team, right?
As a team. 30 on a half season.
Damn, that's a good benchmark. Yeah, I'll take the over.
Over on 30?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, next question. Alex Correa. Does he ever manage again in the MLB?
I think Correa does.
Really?
I do. I'm sorry. You keep saying Correa. That's not Correa. It's Cora.
Cora. Sorry, Cora.
Yeah, something kept bugging me about that. I was like, what is it?
Alex Cora. Yeah.
Because I think Carlos Beltran gets blackballed from baseball.
Okay.
I think that dude, because, you know, he was signed to be the Mets manager, and then he's a borderline Hall of Famer. And I told you, I don't think he gets in the Hall of Fame at all now.
Yeah.
I think that dude gets blackballed from baseball. They might lock him out, obviously, and say it and stuff like that, you know, like Barry Bonds and McGuire and Sosa and stuff like that, or Rafael Palmeiro.
A-Rod, too.
But, huh?
A-Rod as well.
A-Rod, yeah. I think it's going to be more in a A-Rod type of thing because, in that sense. But I definitely think Beltran does not manage again. I think did Cora offer a public statement that he was sorry and stuff?
No,
like that?
He has not. Not that I've seen.
He has not, right? Yeah, I don't remember him saying that either. But I know I felt like Beltran was trying to dodge that, you know, and go into the shadows.
Yeah.
And like not say anything, you know. And I just think he, for whatever reason, he's the dude that just really bugs me, you know, like. He just really bugs me, and I think that dude's gonna get blackballed. I don't think Alex Cora, because Alex Cora's a really liked guy around baseball, so I think he does get a shot. I just don't know if he comes back and manages right away, or maybe be like a head coach or a co-manager type of thing. I don't know.
So Cora did come out with a statement.
He did.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it to you here. So, the Red Sox said, "This is a sad day for us. Alex is a special person and beloved member of the Red Sox. We are grateful for his impact on our franchise. We will miss his passion, his energy, and significant contributions to the communities of New England and Puerto Rico." Cora added, "I want to thank John, Tom, Sam, and the players, our coaching staff, and the entire Red Sox organization. I especially want to thank my family for their love and support. We agreed today that parting ways was the best thing for the organization. I do not want to be a distraction to the Red Sox as they move forward. My 2 years as manager were the best years of my life. It was an honor to manage these teams and help bring a World Series championship back to Boston. I will forever be indebted to the organization and the fans who supported me as a player, a manager, and in my efforts to help Puerto Rico. This is a special place. There is nothing like it in all of baseball, and I will miss it dearly."
Yeah. Like I said, I think he gets a little more leniency. I think Beltran's done. I think Hinch was like the fall guy type of thing for it.
Yeah.
And I think Houston is like, you got us a shit, bro. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later.
Well, I mean, do you think Boston comes back and says the same thing about Cora? Like, hey, don't worry about it, man. We're gonna, you know, obviously he's not going back there, but they're not gonna blackball him.
Yeah, I don't think Cora gets blackballed. Again, I think he's just really well liked in baseball, and I think he's gonna be okay. He's still really young. I think he's gonna take a little hiatus from baseball. I don't think we see him back in 2021. But I could see him being back maybe right around the 5-year marker or something like that.
Yeah,
you know. But I think he'll be back. I don't think we'll see Beltran back. I think Hinch will fade into the limelight. I think he might be back and then just kind of disappear and never come back type of thing.
Right.
But Houston, there's something different, man, because even their owner was like all the dumb shit he was saying,
Yeah.
So they're a different cat, man. They're a different kind of cat. So I just see them being like, it's cool, as long as Major League Baseball don't make us not freaking hiring him back. He's probably back with us,
Absolutely.
I think.
All right. Fucking changing gears to the MMA. We'll bring up MJ thing at the end. But the MMA 3 cards have been set for May, all taking place in the Florida Keys on Fight Island. Starting on May 9th. No fans. They're gonna have just an amazing set of cards. They haven't released all of them. Fight Island is happening. I know our buddy Tyler out there. I know you're listening, Tyler. You said it wasn't happening. Guess what? It's happening. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Florida still thinks entertainment and sporting events are essential, so they're going to allow it to go on without any crowds and a limited base of people that are going to be there. Just absolutely anybody who absolutely needs to be there. So it's going to be interesting, man. I'm not sure how big on MMA you are, or UFC. How are you feeling about this?
I don't follow it, but any sports with me is good sports, right? Like I'm all about it. Like I'll see it. I'd sit down and watch it. I won't. What I do is when I don't know the big names. Obviously, I know all the big names, but when I don't know like the tweener guys, I kind of look them up and I try to research a little bit, and I like to see if there's a feud between the two guys that are fighting. Any kind of interesting tidbits, that they have on Fight Night that they try to promote it.
Yeah.
I like to buy into it and read it so that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see this, that type of thing.
For sure. I know we have a couple of people that I know that were like, hey, man, you guys talk about MMA? And I was like, yeah, man, we dabble in it every now and again. Here you are. Here's your MMA news. God damn it. I know. I'm like the draft, dude. I was just super in trends with everything going on right now with the NFL draft, and this May is around the corner. May is a week and a half away, and I can't wait to see what's how these fights are going to be. I think this is going to honestly, this will be the true test of how a professional sport or an event is going to take place and how everything goes with the with no fans being there, just televised, and absolutely the only people that need to be there are going to be there. I don't know any word from Joe Rogan. Originally, he said that he didn't want to be a part of any of that situation. If it was going to be like on an island and secluded and this and that, and he's like, I'm going to be quarantined. I can't do nothing, this and that, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to be there. So we'll see if Joe decides to come back and be a commentator on the for UFC during these events. It's going to be interesting not to have him there, but at the same time, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be pretty exciting, though. I'm definitely not going to pay for the pay-per-view, but I will.
I'll stream it.
I will definitely watch it somehow. I'm not saying how, but somehow I'll be able to watch it on my big screen TV. So I'll be all right.
What was I going to tell you that? I think they might have like Joe Rogan like streaming or something like that, like where he's in from a live feed and make it seem like he's there,
Yeah, I mean,
I see them accommodating him and saying like, hey, look, I've always set you up at a hotel close by somewhere or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I think they don't, because like for everything that they've done with the draft and right now with all the, if you watch ESPN, if you watch MLB Network or NFL Network right now, when they're doing people from their homes or from their office, whatever it is, there's that weird delay. Like
right.
they ask a question and then everybody's just kind of staring at the screen.
Right. Well, who says it has to go live? Does it say they're going live?
They're going live, dude. They're going to go straight live from Fight Island, from fucking Mortal Kombat Island. Mm-hmm. And they're gonna see how it goes. At the end of the day, it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm excited because it's gonna be live sports. It's gonna be something that we get to all watch and we all get to enjoy.
You sure they said live?
Yes,
okay.
Live on pay-per-view. Nobody else is gonna be in there. If you don't absolutely need to be there, you don't need to be there. You're not gonna be there. Only the fighters, their training teams, and that's it. The referees and a couple people from the sidelines. That's it.
All right.
So, I mean, I think it'll be the true test. If it all goes well, it goes off without a hitch. I think MLB, NFL, everybody else kind of takes a note from that and goes, hey man, if they could get through this, and they had a bunch of different things going on, because usually a fight night goes on about 3-4 hours. There's no reason why we can't do it in baseball and football and anything else. So
right. Yeah, well, it's only a matter of time.
It is only a matter of time when they figure something out, and I think this is going to be the first. Like I said, this is going to be the first step. They're going to move forward, and we'll see. Hopefully, this is a good thing. Nothing bad happens other than somebody getting knocked out, but nobody gets sick. Everything goes well. I think because they're going to have three different fight cards in May. I think it's like May 9th, May 18th, and then May, like, during Memorial Weekend. Because they're going to have three, you know what I mean? So it's if they can pull off all three, I think baseball, football, and everybody else is going to be like, okay, look, they're able to knock it out. Let's get this going. Like, this nobody at the stadium who doesn't need to be there, and we rock and roll, and we get this thing going. Because I think America, above all else, needs some sports to be able to get out of their minds and into something else and cheer for stuff that isn't health wise,
Right. Yeah. Well, looking forward to seeing it. Anything, like I said, anything. It just takes one, to get that party going and see what's happening, and then they're doing the blueprint for everybody else, right?
Yeah, this will be it. And ending tonight. I know it's a shorter version of the Blow and Save podcast, but it's still a good one. It's about quality, not quantity. Your thoughts on The Last Dance, man? I told you we were going to talk about it, and episode 1 and 2, episode 3 and 4 are coming up this weekend. Dennis Rodman is the focus of 3, I believe, and I'm not sure what's going on with 4, but as you know, he is the focus of the 3rd episode. What are your take on the first 2?
I think he had his moments. A lot of us, MJ is a guy that we've seen out in the public, so a lot of it was not surprising. But to me, it was like the interesting tidbits or interviews that you hadn't heard before that were awesome or really made this what it was. And like I told you, in a text conversation me and you were having back and forth, when Roy Williams said Jordan is the only guy that could turn it off and on whenever he wanted,
and he never turned it off. That's right.
That to me was like, oh, I got the chills. Like, dude, woo, right? Like, that was a quote. And I don't think he sat there and said, man, what could I say really stir everybody up, right?
Yeah.
I really believe that's what he believed, and he saw in MJ, like, that's the dude, like, that's what makes him him, and then all the interviews and stuff like that. Now, I didn't know just how much tension there was with what's the name, Jerry Cross, and like the Chicago Bulls team, and MJ in particular, and how they kind of rode him, and I could understand though why they rode him. I guess I was also really young when all that was going on, so I didn't remember. It did kind of trigger it, but in the second episode they were talking about Scottie Pippen, and that contract was brutal.
Man, $17 million. Brutal. I mean,
it was 7 years, 19 mil.
Oh,
right?
19 mil, yeah. But it's like he said, man. He's like, I had to take care of my family. Even the owner or whatever was like, don't sign this fucking contract, man. You're better than this. And he was just like, I need to take care of my family. And he was just like, if you sign this contract, do not come back into my office in a couple years and say, hey, man, let's renegotiate. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to know nothing about this contract after this is signed. You want to do this, not me. Here you go. And literally, like 2 years later, everybody's getting paid out the wazoo, and he's sitting there, 155th ranked salary, the number 2 player in the league, the number 2 player in the league, I should say, and just making pennies, and he was not happy. And, I mean, with all respect, I think nowadays something like that happens, you don't see that kind of go down that way.
No, it gets restructured. Yeah, guys hold out, and in some ways, he did hold out. He's talking about like, I ain't gonna ruin my summer. I'm gonna have the surgery afterwards when I'm ready. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy my summer. You guys don't want to take care of me. Why should I take care of you? Type of thing. And what's interesting is hearing Jordan's comments about Scottie. I wonder how much of this was talked about before. Jordan seems to have a lot of respect for Scotty, but at the same time, I get this undertone that he doesn't have a lot of respect for Scotty.
Yeah.
Because in the interviews, he's like, Scotty was being selfish. Scotty was being this. Bro, you're worth $1 billion and he's barely worth $1 million. You know, like.
Right. Somebody's,
course,
and you couldn't have gotten where you got, you know. And
right.
granted, at the end of that season, I mean, they did go out there and win another championship. He was there. He helped them win that championship. The very next season, he went to Houston. And then after that, he was at Houston for that final year of his contract. And then he went to Portland for 4 years and then ended up going back to Chicago in 03-04 to end out his career. But, you know, it's just one of those things where somebody so good made a wrong decision early in his career, and people warned him against it, and they said, don't do it. And then he said, like a good guy, and I know you saw, you know, his family, whatever, he took care of his family. At the end of the day, you can't fault a guy for wanting to take care of his family when he didn't know, man, if I get hurt or something happens, man, that's it. It's gone. It's over. Right. Let me do what I can now. Let me get the money I can now to make sure my family's going to be taken care of. And he did that. He took care of his mom. He took care of his brother. He took care of his entire family. So, at the end of the day, it was motivated for all the right reasons, but he got dicked over for all of those right reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get it. I get it. I don't know. I just don't know how that whole contract situation was at the moment, you know? But 19 mil, obviously, you're just like, damn, who looks at that and says, this is a good deal?
19 mil over 7 years? God, I got this.
Where did I sign?
I'm getting paid.
Man, I don't. And he was like talking about, oh, you know, what if I got hurt? What do I this? Dude, that's what insurance plans are for, right? Like,
yeah.
That's what those insurance plans sign the short-term deal, you know, 2-3 years and get yourself 10 mil, you know, because that's probably what he probably got was like 2-3 years at like 10 mil based on what I'm hearing those numbers, and get yourself an insurance plan, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, easier said than done, right? I guess.
Absolutely.
That has to be, you know, one of the worst contracts signed, like in terms of where it hurts a player type of thing, their value, like in sports I've ever heard of, you know?
Yeah.
I just didn't know it was that bad. And that is one thing that caught me by surprise, you know. And again, I didn't know how bad that turmoil was with Jerry Cross and Phil Jackson. You know, his interviews, like the Zen master that he is, he seemed really calm, and he was like, unlike Jordan, where Jordan seemed really pissed off and not be empathetic with Scotty's situation.
Right.
Jordan was like, dude, you're just hurting us, and that's selfish, and that's this and that. It's like, dude, well, you got to be a little selfish. Like, that's one of those times, like, well, I understand why he's being a little selfish, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I understand. And I think Phil Jackson came across as like, he understood why Scotty was being a little selfish like that. He's like, well, you know, like, I get it, you know, like, you know, I get it. And Jordan seemed to be like the only one, like, I don't know. Well, he signed the contract. He should play.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I found that really interesting. And I'd love to hear more about that. More about how they fix the rift right there, you know, between Jerry Cross and Jordan and Scotty, just to even play out that season. Because, you know, it ends with Scotty basically slapping Jerry Cross around, you know, verbally in the bus, you know, and then they lead into, like you said, Dennis Rodman, which we all know is a headache anyways.
Yeah.
But that to me is really the really interesting part.
So,
I also noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, as a side factor on this, I just saw it today, but they were talking about, because, you know, they always connect Jordan to Kobe, right? They were talking about how Kobe hired a film crew to document his last season in the NBA, in thoughts of possibly making a documentary later on down the line.
Oh, man, I hope they post that. I hope they do that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, obviously, that's still going to be a couple years away, because I'm sure that was something that they were like, hey, let's go through the footage. Let's start figuring this out when Kobe's ready, you know, obviously after the Hall of Fame, stuff like that, you know. But damn, dude, I just heard that news today, and I was like, dude, that would be such a huge hit because I mean, look at Jordan, who's a living legend, how big his thing is, but Kobe's I won't say it'd be bigger, because Jordan's kind of is coming out right at that right time when we needed this, type of thing.
Absolutely.
But Kobe's would, I guess, just hit you more in the feels type of thing because of everything that happened to him,
No, for sure, man.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Hopefully they do in a couple years. They put out the Kobe Bryant one, and that would be amazing. I think it's gonna be a blockbuster event whenever they do post it, and it's gonna be awesome. I did a quick little research. So Scottie Pippen signed a 7-year, $18 million contract in 1991. Now, in 1991, he earned $2.77 million, making him the 16th highest paid player in the NBA in 1991. Okay, if you equate that to today, so from 18 million in 1991 to today in 2020, right now he would have signed a contract for 7 years, $34.12 million today. That's what he equates to now. Now, if you look at it in those terms, $34 million over 7 years is a lot. It's not as much as you would think. But making him the 16th highest paid player in the NBA the minute he signed it, that was pretty good. So if we're looking at why would you sign that? Why would you make that contract? Hey, being the 16th highest paid player in the NBA at the moment you sign it, you didn't know that it was about to blow up that way. Maybe people were like, hey, man, contracts are about to go crazy right now, but you should wait. Do you really roll the dice on speculation? Some people did, some people didn't. Scottie Pippen would have made $34.12 million today on a 7-year contract like that. And being where he's at right there, $34 million ain't that bad today.
Right.
So, I could see, like, why would you do it? Why would you sign that? But at the time, 91, man, that you're the 16th highest paid player. Why not?
Right. Makes sense.
Who knew a couple years later Jordan was going to be making $34 million a year?
Right? Yeah. Play it right. Play your cards, man. Gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them, right?
Sometimes you get the candy, and sometimes you get the wrapper, man. It is what it is. And he thought he was getting some of that good candy, that good nougat, and they said, nah, bro, here's the wrapper. Let me show you the candy here. This is the $100,000 chocolate bar that is Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Yep. Makes sense.
All right, man. Any last thoughts to end the night?
No, I can't think of anything. What we got coming up with sports here that might be interesting? I said to me that the quarterback carousel is going to be real interesting to see how that works and to see if your boy does where he ends up maybe landing. Like I said, I don't think he's going to be in the NFL again. I think he was already like a black sheep. I don't think he was being blackballed. I think he was just a black sheep. And then him getting hurt and the type of injury he had, I just don't see him going anywhere, Yeah,
I got you.
But maybe Antonio Brown maybe makes a splash somewhere now that the dust starts to settle,
We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see the next 2 days of the NFL draft and where people go and who gets drafted and if any trades come up. Definitely going to be an interesting couple days for the NFL. We'll see if anything new happens with MLB. We're waiting on some more information from UFC. This week was actually a really slow week for sports, but you know what? We still got through it. We give you something. Whether it's just me and Artie just rambling and bambling along after a couple drinks, but you know what? That's why you're here, because that's what we do. Artie, as always, sir, it's always a pleasure, never a chore, man. I love you, man. I'll catch you soon, man.
All right, bro. Well, you have a good weekend. Stay safe and wash your hands.
Absolutely. Everybody, make sure you guys are washing your hands, taking care of yourselves. Don't forget, guys, there is a 3-drink minimum. Hopefully, if you guys had more than 3 drinks, you guys do have a designated driver getting you home and or somebody else is driving you wherever you need to go. Be safe. Stay away from people as much as you can. Only go out if you absolutely have to. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or topics you guys want to talk about in the Blown Save podcast, please email us at theblownsavedpodcast@gmail.com. Merchandise and website coming soon, maybe, hopefully. We'll see. Anyways, that was Artie. I am your other host, Mr. Brent. You guys have a great day, great weekend. Be safe out there. It is the end.